New tonight, moonshine is a colorful piece of Ohio history, but state investigators say modern moonshine is still showing up on the black market. 10 TV's Maureen Kosat takes you to a small Ohio town once dubbed the moonshine capital of the world. She shows us how the business is turning out illegal homemade brews still happening in our state.
The history of making shine is nestled firmly in the backwoods of southern Ohio.
Moonshine is liquor, it is whiskey.
And the village of New Straitsville's claim to fame is no one does it better.
During Prohibition, this community was called the moonshine capital of the world, and that name just stuck.
In 1920, Prohibition sent Ohio coal miners to the shafts and the caves to brew what would become a national underground passion. Doug Nutter says at the height of production, the village had 400 to 500 moonshine stills in operation at one time.
And it was known throughout the country as Straitsville Special.
In Ohio, it's illegal to make moonshine, but once a year, the state grants the village a permit to distill the original recipe to showcase at the annual Moonshine Festival.
It's straight liquor, it's not cut, it's 185 coming right out of the still, it's hot.
Smell that right there.
Do you give samples of it?
There's no tasting, and this batch goes right down the drain. But the Ohio Investigative Unit says 80 years after the end of Prohibition, bootleggers are still making and selling illegal moonshine.
We've had everything from high quality alcohol that would match anything commercially produced to basically poisonous substances.
One of the biggest busts went down in 2000 in Springfield, about an hour west of Columbus.
The thing that personally amazed me was the fact that it was just literally right alongside the house.
In plain view, this copper still at least 3 feet tall and turning out moonshine by the bucket.
People would bring over, say, empty 2-liter bottles. He would fill it up for them and send them on their way for whatever price.
The evidence is now in the possession of the Ohio Historical Society. Lab tests showed that the moonshine in this copper still was 131 proof and it was tainted with lead.
In late April, sheriff's investigators and state agents raided a home in Vinton in Gallia County and charged one person with illegal manufacturing after confiscating this moonshine still. Just 1 week later, in the village of Harrison in Hamilton County, state agents charged a couple with the illegal sale of intoxicating liquor and illegal manufacturing after seizing this active still. Investigators say in part it's illegal to make moonshine because it can pose a public health threat.
You can produce basically the base form of gasoline.
New Straitsville credits the local water for the distinct taste that once put the town on the black market map.
And then you went up to the bartender and you said, "I'd like a glass of whiskey." He would ask you one question: do you want the local stuff or do you want Straitsville Special?
Now, the past is about to catch up to the present. The state of Ohio has granted Doug Nutter a license to make his version of Straitsville Special.
Now, next year, we've got the distillery across the street. It'll be open. You'll be able to try, sample, and actually buy a shine.
Nutter says he'll keep the alcohol content to 110 proof. But even legal moonshine isn't for the faint of heart. Maureen Kosat, 10 TV News.
The Ohio Investigative Unit says it's legal to brew wine, beer, and products that are malt or fruit-based. Anything else is illegal.